Welcome to a brand new Let's Play for Hearts of Iron 4. I am Zkunked, or Z for short, and today we're going to be playing as Bulgaria. One of the worst choices that you could possibly make for this game. But I like doing it because it's ridiculous. Alright, we're going to go with historical focus and regular. The reason why I like picking Bulgaria is because they have such a small army. Their research is that of only 2, and they start off with very, very little when it comes to research. I think we'll be going with our production and research to start off with, because our primary goal is to get more industry and definitely more territory, of course. But everybody else around us has a much stronger military than we do and can produce more and has more of a population. So, let's go to industry. And we can worry about switching to fascism later. Right. Civilian factory, just one. And then the rest are military. What are we short on? Steel. Well, let's trade with the Soviet Union. Okay, yeah. We are definitely down a lot of material to begin with. Let's ramp that up. And let's get started. Our starting general will start with a field marshal, because we're going to definitely want a lot more men than what we have at the moment. So, we'll start with Greece as our first target. That works. Now, funny thing is, even though Bulgaria has the worst tech tree, they still have an air force. Not a lot's going to happen at this part of the game because we have to build up our material, we have to build up our industry, we have nothing to go to war with. Not to mention we're a neutral power, and we need to go fascist. It's all gonna take time. Now, normally I play with Romania, go fascist with them, and I deal with Bulgaria, Greece, Yugoslavia, and Hungary all at the same time. Because for some reason the computer doesn't like it when world tension's at 24% and you decide you want to justify your war goals against somebody. Then that's where all the agreements or promises of independence come in, and then you have to deal with all the crap that has to come with it too. So, if you do decide you want to take, oh, I'm Romania, I want Bulgaria, I want Yugoslavia, I want Hungary, set up a fallback line that comes all the way across. So when you justify them all at the same time, and declare war at them at the same time, you could just select your general and tell him to make one big front. Now, depending on which army's the weakest, that's who you gotta push through first. And normally it ends up being Bulgaria and Yugoslavia go first before Romania. Militarization of the Rhineland. Industry. Let's go with politics. It's not bad, but it could be better for production. Now, another thing to think about too with these guys is that, yeah, cavalry, that's nice, but because you're so low on the tech tree, tanks are not exactly a thing that you need to worry about. Basically, you just go with infantry, artillery, and you can go with motorized infantry if you so desire to. For now, our cavalry is going to be switched to infantry. Alright, let's get back to our industry. Let's go see what's going on with Japan. How are there two Manchukuo and Manchukuo? Okay, I was misreading it. Anyway, here we are back in our little corner of Europe. Still can't do anything. Greece technically has a better military than we do, and that's because of the earlier war that happened at the beginning of the century. Bulgaria would be a lot more fun if they weren't just a big puddle of mud and nothing. Like here, let's look at their resources. Aluminum, that's all they have. 2 aluminum. What joy. We gotta start gearing up. We need those points, we need those guns. We need everything. Hell, we even need people. No, 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 no. That's the opposite side of the tech tree. I want to go down. Alright, we are going to concentrated industry because it just works better. And fascist demagogue. The younger generation will take up the torch. It's usually better to pick the bottom option when it comes to that, unless you want to find yourself in a civil war, which you will more than likely be on the losing side of. Oh, God. I don't even know why I do this to myself. I always pick the country with the worst production. Like, just the other day I was playing with Nepal. Yes, I was able to take over Tibet and Punaka, however you say that. Butchered. I was able to eliminate Zibai San Ma, but I couldn't finish off the Xinjiang because they went into an alliance with the Soviet Union. Yay! You're like Germany and I have like 6 tech tree slots to use. Alright, too much stuff is popping up now. Like, that's the only way I can think of getting Bulgaria to be any bit successful, is you just gear up that industry right away, and on your national spirit deal, just run down the armament side and then work on the construction effort side. Because, like I said, you start off with 3 shoe factories. Not a lot of guns you can make, especially when you need to rearm everybody with over 6,000 guns. You need over 100 supplies. Surprisingly, the motorized is done, so we'll switch that over to guns. And we'll worry about them later when we have more factories put together. In fact, we should get a factory here in a few days. So, we'll put motorized back on the list. Right. Let's see. We can't early mobilize. So any other choice we have here would be worse than what we already have. In fact, it would take away manpower from us. So let's go to industrial focus. See, Greece already knows that something's up. But if I remember correctly, either they start out with a small air force or no air force. So that comes out on our side. Just pitiful. But for some reason, I always like starting with Bulgaria, so we'll see what happens. More than likely, I probably will lose this against either Greece or Romania. It'll just happen that way. But seeing how Greece is my first opponent, I'm assuming that it's going to happen against them. Because for some reason, Greece is able to just materialize things that they need to make it happen. Oil and rubber. Dutch East Indies? Yeah, sure. No. They must have changed their political view. I don't think so. Where's the Netherlands? Huh. Did they literally just... I'm confused here. They're democratic. Dutch East Indies. Okay, yeah. Alright, armaments. Now we have 4 shoe factories, so we're able to get somewhere with that. Ooh, Spain. The Republic of Spain is not doing well. Good luck. Right, our supplies are finally going up. It's still the latter end of 1936, so we have time. We could still produce plenty of troops. I am not at all worried about it. Besides, once you at least have 24 over Greece's 14, I think, then you can, with enough hope, push through them, take over their industry, and then they could do nothing because they can't produce to keep up with your war production. Although sometimes they do stupid things and I get ready for war before I'm ready for war. And now Ethiopia belongs to Italy. But we're not worried about them. We're worried about us and Greece. Those Greek bastards, they're going down. Maybe. Or I might be going down. The whole guns for butter thing, it's just ridiculous. Let's see. The Americas. North America. Right. Let's see. Effort. Put this other shoe factory into our guns. What are we short? Steel. Gotta save that last factory so we can finish building. Get those. That up. Alright, North America, USA. Can't do nothing. Well, we'll see. Where are we at? Halfway done, still 1936. We're doing good so far. We just really got to get our supplies up. Yeah, their troops are going to be better than ours, so we better start training them. Army drill, training time. Yeah. We gotta help our boys out. We can't leave them sitting there in the ditches with nothing. Well, at least the guns number is going down. Alright, well, that's the beginning part of our preparations for war with the diabolical Greece. Tune in next time. I'm Z, or Z Kunked if you want the full name. We'll catch you later.